Today we will discuss about the question that the Nachiketa asked to the Yama. That's a unique way of understanding the core of Hinduism. But friends, we will be requesting afterwards Revered Karen, the interim religious education minister, First Unitarian Church of Chicago, and his teachers and students. You are welcome, and we will talk to you after some time. But in this talk, I will try to narrate the basic of Hinduism. And very special is this: the young boy, he has gone to a person who had the direct experience of involution and evolution. That is, in simple language we call involution is death, evolution is birth. Now when these changes are happening, there must be something which is the source of all these changes. Yes, there is one, and which has been named by the seers as the Brahman. The meaning of this word, the Sanskrit word Brahman, is the all-pervading one. When something is all-pervading, that must be the biggest. Nothing can be bigger than that. Hence, Brahman is also termed as Brihat. That is also another Sanskrit term. And since it is the biggest, it cannot have any form, because anything having form is limited. Anything limited is transitory and bound to be destroyed. Brahman is infinite and eternal and source of all knowledge. This is from where Hinduism started, the basis of this Brahman, which is the source of all knowledge, all existence, all creation. And it has no form. But again, we see it when we visit the Hindu temple, we find that there are hundreds of gods and goddesses in different forms, different names. Why? We will come to that question afterwards in the end of this talk. Here we find this: if something is infinite, eternal, source of all knowledge, how can that be defined? It's impossible to define because it is infinite. The moment we are trying to give a definition, obviously it comes within the time and cause, and naturally it is not possible to give the definition of the Brahman. Therefore, there is no definition of Brahman. One can only realize it, feel it within the core of the heart. And that is what happened to the Yama, and he is known in the Hindu pantheon as the king of death. This Yama is the king of death. He is standing on the threshold of life and death. He knows everything. And this young man, he has gone to him to ask this question. Nachiketa was not ready to listen to all these arguments. He was going on telling Yama, "O sir, you are the knower of Brahman. You know what is death or involution. You also know what is birth or evolution. You are the right person to teach me about this mysterious knowledge of Brahman, which is also known as Atman." There is another terminology, is Brahman and Atman. Please tell me, what is it? Now, what to do? When we cannot give the expression, when we cannot give the definition, what we do? We give some hints. And these are the things, it is like this, it is like that. So Yama is also doing the same thing. We find afterwards But before we begin, so let us chant this sloka and let us start. Naham manushyo nacha deva yakshaha na brahmana kshatriya vaishya shudra na brahmachari na grihi banastava vikshur na cha aham nija bodha sarupa. I am what I am. It says that I am not this. I am not a human being. This is a very bold words. They say I am not a human being. And at the same time, I am not the demigods also. Those powers which are controlling the nature are known as the demigods. The supreme God is Brahman. The supreme God is Atman. It has no form. But again, for understanding of the ordinary people, Hindus, they have developed conception of demigods as if they are controlling different positions and working with the power that is called Rita. So that they are doing. So I am not that also. I am not Yaksha. In between God and human being and very high soul. And in the Hinduism there are 4 castes is there. Why? Because according to the work, what they do according to the work, so they have been given in this way. Brahmana, the intellectuals one. In the society we need the intellectual people. So this is the Brahmana. Then some people who are protecting us, Kshatriya. And then who are doing the commerce, the business, the Vaishya, and also those who are doing the physical work, Shudra. So these are the 4 gradations. Here it says, I am not a Brahmana and I don't belong to any caste. Again in the Hinduism we find the life has been divided into 4 parts. That first part is Brahmachari. It's all Sanskrit words. This Brahmachari means the beginning of the life. One is a student learning everything in this life so that he will be useful afterwards in the society. So that is the Brahmachari. And then second portion is the Grihi. Second part of life is the Grihi. Grihi means the householder. When that knowledge is utilized for the benefit of the society. And the third, when everything is done, as the elderly person, he retires from all this work, from all these activities, and that is called Banastha, Banaprasthi. That means he is withdrawing from the active life of the society. And he is remaining there. Sometimes people literally translate that they are retiring into the forest. It is not like that. And again, I am not a Vikshu. Vikshu means those who are going on begging. Not that they are just going on begging. No, they are not having anything of their own. They don't keep anything of their own. So naturally the society is supporting them. They are known as sannyasi. Samyak nyasa. They have given up everything. Their heart, their home. They are the monks. So obviously they live a high moral life. That is the reminder for the society that one should be like this. So that is the respect that the society they give to these monks, and they give all help. Different people bringing different type of help, and that is called bhiksha in Sanskrit. We are receiving that. I am not earning, I am only receiving. So it's called bhiksha. This Sanskrit terminologies, but it's a wonderful meaning is behind. But here in this sloka it says, I am not that too. I am not God, I am not the in-between God and human being, I am not human being, I don't belong to any caste, I don't belong to any class of people, then who am I? From this question begins the philosophy. From this question begins the all religion. Who am I? Am I this body? I was born on such and such date. Before that, where I was? I'll be dying after some time. After the death, where I am going to go? These are the two questions always haunted the people. And then they tried to get the answer. And when they found out the answer, in a different way they expressed it. And then all different religions came and nothing else. What is the religion? Different paths. What the paths are doing? Leading us to the source of our creation. What is God? Creator. And we are trying to realize God, understand God, go back to God, go back to Atman. Why? Because we like to know the source. That's all. So always different type of paths are the expressions of different routes going to the same goal. And Hinduism here begins with a very high philosophy, and that is called Aham. I am is the God. I am the God. I have created. Now that is another philosophy. They say, how you can say that you have created? Because whatever I am thinking, that is happening. If I think that person is my friend, it becomes my friend. If I think that person is my enemy, he becomes my enemy. If I think that person is good, it becomes good. All I am creating, according to my understanding. So those who are sharp in understanding, they can only understand that beyond this there is also something, which is that they say the consciousness. Beyond this body, there is a mind. Beyond this mind, there is consciousness. Sometimes we call it as life. We call it as Atman. We have this body, we love this body, but day will come for everyone that we have to leave this body. Every one of us, we used to love so much our father, our mother, our grandpa and grandma. Many of them have left us. Where they have gone? Their body was there. I saw on the bed as she used to or he used to lie, as it is. Then how is it that we are taking her or his body to the cremation ground? Why we are not taking him to the other places? Why the cremation ground? Something is lost. That means body is not important. And that the Yama is giving the hint. You cannot express about that because you have to have direct knowledge. And he says, Sarve Veda Yat Padamamanti. Sarve Veda Yat Padam Mamanti. And I will tell you in brief that that goal which all the Vedas with one voice pronounced. Veda means the books of knowledge. Veda means knowledge. And why Sarve? Why so many? Because different people realized in different way. So whatever they say, all is coming in one goal. Sarve Veda Yat Padam Mamanti Tapamsi Sarvani Jayad Vadanti. Again, which all the austerities speak of. We do so much of austerities. We go to different holy places. We go and listen to the holy people. We read holy books. We give donations. We also go and do services, volunteer services. So many austerities. Again, in almost in every religion, fasting. That is also there. Whole body wants to eat, but I am controlling my mind and asking, no, I won't. So all this called austerity. I can enjoy, but I should not. Nobody is giving me the injunction that you cannot eat. I am giving that order to my mind. I am not going to eat today. That's called austerity. Why I am doing all this? The Muslims, they follow 1 month this austerity. Whole day, daytime, they won't eat. When the sun sets, then only they eat. The moment the sun is rising, from then onwards, they won't. And you can imagine the Middle East, so hot, so warm, so difficult. Even then, they won't drink even a drop of water. Why this austerity? If you go to the India, you will find that the people, they are so old and also incapable to move. They will be climbing the hills to reach to a temple. Why this austerity? So he says, Sarve Veda, all that knowledge, all the people who have realized and recorded that, and again those who are having the austerity, they speak of, and wishing for which people practice brahmacharya. Brahmacharya means restraining, all meditation. When we are meditating, what's the meditation? Only controlling our mind. And what is mind? Flow of thoughts. Where from the thoughts come? If you go on digging deep and deep, then you will find everything is coming out of your own desire. I want to see that. Immediately my eyes goes over there, see that, brings back the report, gives it to the mind, and mind is saying, oh, that is a very costly car. I am not having. So there is an agitation. Why that man is having a costly car? Why I am not having? So good. So all these things are coming only because a desire. I want to see that. So that is the reason when I hear something about good about me, somebody is whispering, you know this man is a very good man. Immediately I become very good, very happy. And I tell that person, do you like to eat something? I can give you. So why? Only a word. He or she told he is a good man. Does it mean that I am really a good man? I have to ask myself. So that is the control. That I am not sending my eyes over there to collect the information. I am not receiving these words. I am not going to taste. Even if I taste, I am not going to be elated or sorrow for the taste that I get. That is all called control, and that is brahmacharya. Brahmacharya is the control of the mind. And this brahmacharya, they are practicing tatte padam sangrahim brabhimi. And why all they are doing? That is the question. Now he is asking, Om iti etat. Now he is giving the answer, giving the hints. The young boy went to him, it was a long story, and he was asking the gentleman, please tell me the truth, which is the secret of all this creation. How to do that? Because it is all pervading, all over, it is impossible. So obviously he is giving the hint. Here is the hint, Om iti etat. Now the Hindus, they have designed that particular word as Om, A, U, Ma. In English we write O and M, Om. But we pronounce A, U, Ma, Om, like this. This is a very interesting thing. The Brahman, who has created Brahman? No one. It has been created out of his own. If someone goes and asks, God, who has created you? I have created myself. And that is the answer. Here also, who has created the Brahman? Brahman has created. Now, how to give the hint? Now, you are going to explain about something, say milk. It is liquid, liquid like the water, almost like water, but little thick. It is white, and it has a river like this. No, it cannot be. Where from it comes? It goes on hinting. But once a person goes and purchases a cup of milk, drinks it, then only he can understand. But if you again ask that man, can you please explain about milk? Again he will say, go to that shop, purchase a cup of milk and drink, and then only you will understand. But for me, I can say it is liquid, it is white, it is tasty, it is very healthy. All these hints I can give. I cannot give you the complete definition, it is not possible. And similarly, these also a, u, ma. But when we are explaining about the milk, can we show just any color and say it is like this? It should be white. It should be liquid. Similar, almost near to that. So they have given this Om. The rishis, they have given this Om to us because Om is created without the help of anything. What is this Om? A sound. Can you create a sound without the help of two? No. When you are clapping, we are using these two hands. When we are making a sound, we are using the table and also the hand. So everything, when the moment we try to do something, create something, we need two. But when you are pronouncing Om, you are not using other words. All these words that I am talking, I am using my tongue, I am using my lips. But when I am pronouncing or you are pronouncing Om, you don't need the help of the lips or the tongue. You can try. Om. See, there is no use of the tongue or the lips. So these people, our rishis, they have gone so deep to find out a word which comes like this. Now whether it will be like this figure, I don't know. So that is only they have written because O, that is a letter in our alphabet. This O, and then they have added another Ang. So O and Ang became Om. This is the alphabet that is there. You may write in a different way. The Bengalis, they write the Omkara in a different way. And in the Sanskrit, they write the Omkara in a different way. The Bengalis will never use the backside. They will only write the O and the half moon, the crescent moon, like that. Now the thing is that they have given a shape, but the beauty is they have gone so close to the sound. Why? Brahman is created out of his own. No one has created. And here the Omkara. So here he is giving the hint, the Yama is giving the hint. Sarve Veda yat padamam ananti tapamsi sarvani cha yad badanti yadichanta brahmacharyam charanti tatte padam samgrahena brabhimi omiti etat. This is in the fast 1 to 15, that is the sloka number. Then when we go, it goes on telling in this way, na jayate, na mriyate ba. That is the sloka also there in the Bhagavad Gita, very important sloka. And that sloka is in the 18th sloka. It says very peculiarly, very special way. It is not born, na jayate, na mriyate, it is never dead. So, na jayate, na mriyate babipaschin, nayam kutachinna babhuva kaschit, atu ajo nitya shashatoyam purano na hanyate hanyamane sharire. We find this same sloka in the Bhagavad Gita. This is the sloka from the Kathopanishad. In the 18th sloka, it says, "Na jayati," it is not born, and the intelligent self is neither born nor does it die. The born means creation, and death means is not existing. It will be never. That it was not there, it is impossible. If we say that it was there, this moment it is not there, it is temporary. It is always permanent, always present. If we say, "Oh, God was here a few days before," "Oh, you were unlucky, you couldn't see God, now God is not here," it cannot be. God is always there, always there. So when the human being could understand about God, it was there. Before they could conceive, it was there. If they forget about God, it will be there. So there will be no time when this consciousness won't be there. So this is they call na jayate, na mriyate va vipaschin. This intelligent self is neither born nor does it die. It did not originate from anything, nor did anything originate from it. It is birthless, eternal, undecaying, and ancient. It is not injured even when body is killed. Why it says like this? Because in every body, every human being or in other beings, it is there. That consciousness is known as the life. The consciousness which is within our heart, we think that that is the life. The doctors are trying to save our life. They are regularly developing so many devices. Sometimes they'll be giving the oxygen and so many other things are there, medicines are there, apparatus are there. But what actually they are trying to save? This body? Apparently they are trying to save the body. But no, actually they are trying to save our life. What is that life? Is a consciousness. As because that consciousness is here within us, we can run, we can talk, we can blink, we can eat, we can all these things that we are doing because of that consciousness about which we are not conscious. So that is very peculiar. So that is the only thing that is so important. We are taking care of our teeth, our ear, our nose, our eyes, our everything. But at the same time, we are not taking care of the soul. So here it says the most important thing in a human being, particularly human being, why? Because they can discriminate, they can think, they can differentiate. And that is the reason human beings are very, very important. God made them as His own image. In the Bible it says the man was made out of God's own image. So I always ask the question to my Christian friends, so what do you mean by image? That means God looks like me? No. God looks like so many different varieties of human being. So many varieties. No. God, image means I can discriminate. I have the intellect. That is the important thing. The animal, it is also having the same life, same consciousness. But unfortunately, that consciousness is not manifested on this level. So that is the reason. And this is very, very important. One should not forget this. I am a blessed soul because I have got this human body. I can become God myself, as the Buddha became, as the Christ became, as Sri Ramakrishna and Vivekananda became. There is a process. If we follow that, I can also become like that. What is that God? It's all these wonderful qualities. So here it says, when you understand that knowledge, then you will never feel, though I am going to die and or I am going to survive for this many days, and this is my family, that is not my family. No, nothing like that. So what he or she will feel that time? A great joy. Why? This the whole thing that I see is my family. Anything and everything that I see is nothing but my family. But it is not so easy to conceive this idea, to understand and really feel like that. We say like that, but we do not feel like that. So obviously one has to be practicing this again and again and again, and then ultimately it becomes samadharsitva. When the Jesus called his apostles, his direct disciples, he didn't go to educated people. He went to the fishermen and told, hey, follow me. And then he transformed them. Why? This external knowledge cannot do that. It's not necessary. It's all internal knowledge. The great followers of Jesus, if we go and see how many of them were educated, very ordinary people. They are fishermen and all, but they had the genuine soul, the genuine mind. And whatever the Jesus said, they followed that, and then they became transformed. They became apostles, and we are reading their accounts about Jesus. We are understanding Jesus, the Son of God, from these people. So that is why it shows it is possible. All those direct disciples, the pictures are hanging over there. They are Swami Sri Ramakrishna's direct disciple. Of them, you see at the top line, the second one, he was completely uneducated. He was not having any conception of letters, but he was a knower of Brahman. He knew everything. When the other educated people, the novices, they used to read about the scriptures, when they used to explain, immediately he used to say, yes, this is correct, I have seen that. That means whatever it is written over here in the scripture, the same thing can be realized by anyone by practicing. What is that practice? Controlling the senses, that's all. These senses can take us to the God, these senses can take us to the devil. What is the devil? The desire to enjoy these worldly things and nothing else. And what is the problem in that? The more we go to enjoy these worldly things, the more we suffer. That is why in this religion they have given the name devil, because it's going on giving you the pain and never joy, never happiness, all temporary. I am thinking it is so happy I am. No, it is not. So the Hinduism realized this, and then slowly they developed this idea. Now friends, allow me to talk about a little of Hinduism, and if the little friends, young friends, they can understand. I do not know, but you know that there is a conscious being. That conscious being is creating everything. It's very intelligent and very conscious about everything. And from there the creation is coming. That was discovered by the Hindus. Those who discovered it, not that everybody discovered that, a very few, we call them rishis, the seers. And one special thing in Hinduism, there is no creator. There's a one person realized God, then he came and told, from him came the Hinduism. No. These are all different type of people in different situation, different places. They all were researching. And from that research came this truth, this knowledge. What they were researching? Only two things. All the changes from my body and anything, all this in the world is changing. Anything that changes, obviously temporary. Anything temporary going to be destroyed. First. Second, according to the science, the moment you are observing any change, there must be something static. comparing with which you can understand the change. They tried to understand, to find out what is that static thing. I was a small little boy, then I have grown up, then one day I will be very old, now itself I am old, but then one day I will be dead. Now all these changes are happening on whom? On me. Who is observing? I was a little boy. I became young. I have grown up. I am going to die. In all the changes, I is static. What is this I? So that they wanted to know. And to know that I, they developed three the ways. In Hinduism, one thing is very good, that is the freedom. Freedom of your thought, freedom of your expression. Someone told that, see, I was trying to do this and then I found out this is the truth. As because I have already found it out, so I am taking the patent and you cannot do anything of it. Each and every one of you have to follow my path or I am going to fight with you. No. So they say, see, I have done this and I am satisfied. How I will understand that God has been realized and been understood by that person? There is some things are there, yardstick. Some people may come and say, I have realized God. One gentleman we went to hear, he was telling that I was in Himalaya for 12 years and now I know my past birth. So what is that to us? If you know your past birth, that is up to you. So what we are going to do with that? What you are going to do? How you are going to help the humanity? That is the question. But that is way many people they claim, because it is all inside, they may claim I am a very religious man, holy man. How you will understand him? First and foremost thing, he will have no desire at all. Not at all, no desire. Second, for his personal benefit, no desire. But he will have a desire to help others. Because his heart will be so broad and open, full of love, love without any discrimination. He is a realized soul. These are the two points that we have to remember. If anyone is coming and claiming that I am a realized soul or I have seen God and all this, these two things are there. Are you having this? So we have to observe them. Now here these people, these rishis, after realization, they, just like the scientists, they declared, Srinnantu Vishye Amritasya Putra, Aye Dhamani Dibhyani Tastu. The wonderful verses. Oh, listen this, addressing the whole world, whole humanity, they say, I have realized that God, and that is the knowledge. Tamasa means the ignorance, the darkness. Beyond that is the knowledge. I have realized that. I can show that to you too, if you follow my path. He declared that, and that path is known as Vaidika Dharma. Vedic means Veda, Veda means knowledge. So what is the basis of Hinduism? There is no founder. Where from it came? From the knowledge. And where these knowledges were revealed? In the hearts of the rishis, the seers. How come that knowledge was revealed in the hearts of those people and not in others? Because they were concentrating on that particular knowledge. They wanted to understand that. Like the scientists, they try, similarly they were trying. And how they did it? Not in any laboratory. They did within the mind. Here, afterwards, will come that as if all our senses are going out. I always observe, yesterday I was coming from Cincinnati, 1 hour flight, one young lady came and she was listening something, she was observing something, and beautiful sight when you were coming down on the Chicago, the whole land is the light, is a fairy land like that. She never bothered to even to peep to see that. She was engrossed in that small little, some, like the telephone. He was going on playing something and doing. Why? Because all these things are happening, concentrating on the external thing. Each and every one of us are doing that. In our younger days also we used to do that. Then slowly the senior people teach us, you have to control your mind. I want to have that, I want to purchase that, I want to go over there. These are all desires. Then the senior people say, no, 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 no. You have to control, you have to control, you have to control. And the more we are controlling our mind, the more the joy and success is coming. What is the difference between a person to person? This concentration. Swami Vivekananda said, if you are concentrated, you are successful. In the classroom, when the teacher is giving the class, maybe 25 to 30 students, they are listening, one is becoming the first. Why? Because he is listening and then noting down and remembering it, utilizing it. Same the rishis. So they are the founders of the Hinduism. They gave us the knowledge. Now another group of people came and they started discussing over that, analyzing that same thing. When they were analyzing the same knowledge, same teaching, when they were analyzing, they said, why I have to close my eyes and to sit like this? I can work and also reach to the same goal. So they started controlling the external nature, and for that they developed a mystical power, different type of actions that they gave the name yajna. Yajna we translate it into English as sacrifice. So they started developing some of the sounds. We call it mantra. So the mantra, the sound, with that sound they are controlling this. One gentleman has written me a letter, Swamiji, I heard that you were giving a talk on Vedanta and Tantra. I want to learn one thing. Is it possible to make the body huge? Because I read Hanumana, that's one of the, so he became huge and they jumped across the ocean. Is it possible? How a human body can become huge? I have not replied. Maybe in the Monday I will give the reply. I will try to give. I don't know whether you will be satisfied or not. But the question is, friend, nearly 700 people, we are sitting and the huge craft is taking us in the sky. How it is possible? Because we have controlled the external nature. We know what are the forces. We know how to go up. We know how to defy this law of gravitation. Are you not? As because we have learnt it, our ancestors, it was miracle, it is impossible. Human being and floating on the air, it is impossible. Human being going down deep into the water, impossible. Any few, maybe if you ask your the grandfather's father, he will say it is impossible. But now it is, even the children will say it is possible. Why? Science. What is this science? Understanding the nature and controlling the nature. If it is possible externally, why not internally? So these people, they started controlling the nature internally through the sound, not with the apparatus, but with the sounds. And they developed a wonderful process that's called Tantra, T-A-N-T-R-A, Tantra, that gave a lot of power. So these who you were discussing is a Vedanta. Then came another path, another group of people, they started telling, you can get a lot of power and you can control these external worldly things. Also, if you want, you can be successful in spiritual life. So they became Tantra. Third group of people said, brother, what you are discussing, it is too intellectual for me, I cannot understand that. It is impossible. And the work that you are doing from the whole day, you are going on pouring some different type of things into the fire and going on chanting, and the chanting should be, pronouncement should be perfect. It's not possible for me too. Lord, what shall I do? Can I not realize God? Can I not get the blessings of God? The third path came. This third path is called bhakti. B-H-A-K-T-I. Bhakti is devotion. The Lord Jesus said, prayer, prayer, prayer. And Bhagavan Buddha sitting over there, he said, discrimination, discrimination, discrimination. You are the light of your own. Atma Deepo Bhava. You must be the light within. He never said to pray. Whom to pray? There is no God. You are the only thing. Who can give you everything? Nothing. All that falls. You have to stand on your own way. That is jnana. Some people followed that. Then you have seen they have changed. Now Buddhism, so many different varieties have come. I wonder if the Bhagavan Buddha himself comes, he will say, what is my teaching? Where you have kept that? Because it has become so many varieties, people they have utilized. Why? Because of our own nature. And what is that nature? Maximum people, they have the emotion. I love you, I like to invite you. Then I like to cook something for you. I like to decorate my room for you. And then I like to give you a nice room to stay. All emotion. And same emotion when you are utilizing for the God. See, nicely they have decorated with the flowers. Then with every evening they will cover the body of this picture. Why? Because it is cold. So I went to a place near Hollywood, that is, and there they were having the arati. In the arati, we usually use the last fanning the God. But there they didn't use. So obviously we asked, what is the matter? You have not used the fan. No, this is winter. If I am fanning, the God will feel chill. So that is the feeling, wonderful feeling. I am decorating my God. I am plucking the flowers, not for me, but for a girl that I will prepare and give it to God. I am cooking, not for me. I will offer it to God and I will go on praying, please come and take. Then when some emotions are coming in my mind, I am running to Him and crying to Him. I know you are the all-powerful God. Why won't you help me? Please help me. You know, the Hindus, almost everywhere, if you go to India, you will find temple more than the residential buildings. Temple, and every area, every corner there is a small temple, big temple like that. When we used to go to school, as a young people, we used to walk from our homes to the school nearby, the local school. We never cared that there are so many temples are there on our way. But when there is an examination, we know there are 3 temples I have to go and give 10 paisa. Because, why? Because God will help me to get a good question so that I can answer properly. So always we like to get some help from the supernatural, and that is the emotion. So the Hinduism, they have developed 3 paths. That is called Vaidika, Tantrika, Vaishnava, devotion. One is for knowledge, one for action, and one for devotion or emotion. So utilizing everything of a human being, some people are very intellectual, they like to always argue, they like to understand everything by questioning, what is this, what is this, what is this? For them, jnana. If you ask them, hey brother, don't ask question, please come, let us cry to God. Those, oh, that's up to you, I am leaving. They won't cry because they cannot do that, they don't have that emotion, but they have tremendous intellect and they like to do in that way. Another people work. If you ask them to sit and then to work and to pronounce, and the effect is coming, they will try that. And third, all emotion. Majority emotion. And the emotional people, they also realize God, the same way. So Swami Vivekananda gave another path. What is that? He introduced this. He said karma yoga. If you are helping others, you are serving God. That is a wonderful way. I cannot come to the God all the time. Even if I come more than 5 minutes, it is very difficult to close my eyes. And when I am praying to God, He is not replying. I am going on talking, but I am not listening any reply from God. So naturally, some people are bored and say, no, this is not our path. So Vivekananda, he is taking the help of our old scripture, Gita. He said, why not karma? Each soul is nothing but the potential manifestation of God, potential there. And in the Veda we find that Brahman has created, God has created what? Out of His own image. So all the human beings that we see, if we go and help them, so that is also the service to God. And so he gave the dictum, service to man is service to God. It became very easy for active people. But they also joined in the fray. They also joined in the line because they are also leading towards the same goal. And Vivekananda, after realizing that, he gave a bold statement. Through unselfish work, you can reach the same goal where Buddha reached by his knowledge, Christ by his prayer. The Christ was constantly praying and Buddha was discriminating. And here is a path, you need not to do all this, only go and remove the miseries of others. But in return, don't expect anything. So, my friends, in conclusion, we can say Hinduism has no creator. It is a science that developed through research, question, doubts. Then that truth that was discovered, to reach to that, different paths also developed. One for the intellectual people, another for the active people, and third for the emotional people. So that all the people can go, and you need not to bother about others. Only thing, our God, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, who was born in a human form, and in 1836 in a village, he said, all paths are leading to the same goal. It only just is not a sentence, it's a statement. He practiced that, realized that, then he declared that. And he said, only thing you must remember, whatever path you are following to the God, that is your path, and do not decry or criticize the others. That's all. To realize God, two things are necessary. One is a faith, the God is there, and another is a genuine desire to reach to God. So this is in brief as a Hinduism. I will sit with you, children. If you have any question, then I will talk to you afterwards. But may I now request Reverend Karen to come over here to introduce yourself and about your church. Aru, can you give a microphone, this one?
Thank you so much. We are.
Would you use this one, please?
Oh, certainly.
Please. No.
No, both of them. Both of them. Got it. Okay. My name is Reverend Karen Mooney, and I am here from the First Unitarian Church in Chicago. We are located in the Hyde Park neighborhood, very, very close to the University of Chicago. Our youth children from grades 5th through 8 are studying our neighboring faiths. The Unitarian faith is one that comes out of Christianity, but somewhat like you just described, Hinduism comes from an understanding of how it is that we live within the world, and we, instead of having a creed, live by principles. One of our principles, our first principle, is that everyone is worthy of our respect, and everybody has dignity. Our seventh principle, that we live within a world that is interconnected. All of us are affected by one another. All of us are people who, I guess I would use the word soul, not all of us would. All of us are people who would live and know that the connections that we have are very important. So we are grateful for your welcoming us here today, and I'm sure that all of our youth have many questions that they will share with you. I said,
Thank
namaste.
You. Namaste. Thank you. But may I ask you a question for just to understand? So, what is the process that you follow to realize God or to the truth? What is the process that you follow?
That's a great question. So, Unitarian Universalists have a very broad understanding of what the holy or God is. Some among us are atheists, some are humanists, some are theists. So for those people, they have different mechanisms by which they would become good, solid, moral, ethical people living within the world in a way that that befits us as good human beings. Okay. So we're as a faith tradition, we don't necessarily move towards saying that everyone is reaching towards the holy of God, but if I understand your description of Brahman would be similar to our understanding of humanism, that within all human beings and within all humanity exists something that is precious and that must be both supported and must be revered. So all of us as individuals hold some piece of the whole that is among us. And so humanism asks us, much like Swami Vivekananda professed, asks us to be in service to one another, not for somebody else, but for ourselves. Right, so that we become the people that we might be, so that we become good stewards of both this earth and of one another in creation. For the people that are among us who are atheists, and I will speak from my father's tradition. My father, I was brought up Unitarian Universalist, and my father claims proudly himself to be an atheist. But he says that we will agree on one thing. I come from Bhakti. He says we will remain solid on one thing, and that is the word love. That I may not, he may not believe in a soul, he may not believe in something that is beyond himself, that takes him someplace, but he believes that love is the thing that connects him to me, from him to the world, and that connects me to the world as well. That it is that sense of love and relationship that will indeed bring us forward. And I would add, especially in this particular time of the world, where we as Americans have just come through an election season that seemed to have said that was not true. that love and relationship were not things to be revered, that one of the important reasons for us being here today with you is to reaffirm that we all believe that it is love, it is relationship, it is dignity, it is that understanding and that lived sense that all of us are a part of something that is so much larger, whether that is revered as God and holy or as revered as humanity and what we see. So how we work towards that, through service, through knowledge, and through learning, and through reaching out to those people and things that are different than us, so that we can know who our neighbors are, and we can know what it is that is expected of us to be good neighbors to ourselves and to those people that we live with.
Friends, do you want to ask any question? Yeah, we should congratulate. This is a wonderful message that you have given today. And you want to know something from the Reverend Karan? Any of one of you like to know? You must be knowing that the Vedanta society, we are grateful because when the first Hindu, Swami Vivekananda came here, this is the church, the Unitarian Church, everywhere. They are so broad-minded, even in 1893-94. Even that time, different places, Vivekananda was welcomed and he delivered lectures in so many different churches. We are thankful. We are friends of long standing.
Yes, we are.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So let us say this stotra and then we conclude. Let us say this again. Naham manusyo nacha devayakshaha na brahmana kshatriya vaishya shudra na brahmachari na grihi vanastava bhikshur na cha aham nija bodha sarupa. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om. Om, peace, peace, peace unto all.